Arsenal 4, Atletico Madrid 0. This is one of the most ruthless, defensively resolute sides I've ever seen from Arsenal Football Club in European competition. They've absolutely dismantled Atletico Madrid, one of their worst ever losses in European football. And this is an Arsenal side. It feels like you're trying to break into Fort Knox, trying to break past the back line. Gabriel has to be the best centre-back in world football on form. And I can't believe what Arsenal have just done to Atletico Madrid. It was a scary season. This has to be the most confident, powerful, robust side in Europe right now. Maybe you take Harry Kane to start for Arsenal. Maybe Lamine Yamal gets in there, Erling Haaland, Mbappe, etc. But the back line, you take Rice, Zubimendi, the keeper, and the back four, and you think actually Arsenal got the best defensive unit in all of European football right now. They've absolutely dismantled Atletico Madrid in that second half. The physicality that Arsenal display, the physical presence to keep the ball, be tricky with the ball, have some quality from Zubimendi and Declan Rice, but have this physical presence of pushing Atletico Madrid back to their own goal with long balls in, long sort of deep corners, deep free kicks. I thought there's this physical oppression that Arsenal put on opposition sides, and these aren't joke teams. Maybe when Arsenal play Slavia Prague soon or Olympiacos, look, we don't have to analyse it too much. But this is a serious outfit. Atletico Madrid are not a joke team. Julian Alvarez is one of the finest forwards in European football, and he was limited to 2 or 3 chances, hit the crossbar with an exceptional effort. But apart from that, Gabriel was all over this guy, and Julian Alvarez is an exceptional, basically I'd say a world-class striker, completely limited a top-level side from Diego Simeone. And we go back to the initial statement. This is one of the worst losses. This is the joint worst loss that Atletico Madrid have ever had in European competition under Diego Simeone. That is staggering for a side that got into half-time 0-0. For a side that could have been 1-0 up if Julian Alvarez hadn't have hit the crossbar. But Arsenal got a second gear. Arsenal got a level of physicality and fitness and sharpness where they can keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into a football match and get massive results out of it. These aren't marginal 1-0 wins that we're used to with Arsenal a few years ago. They're becoming 3s. They're becoming 4s against top-level opposition. This Arsenal side, I mean, it's scary. I still think you can question maybe his mentality in big games. Bayern Munich coming up. We're going to assess that in a little while. But right now, what I'm seeing from Arsenal, they're the finest team in the country from an England perspective, and one of the finest in Europe. We're going to break down all the key moments and, of course, the goals. Make sure you subscribe if you made it this far. Would really appreciate it. Again, the first half, I have to give man of the match for the first half to Bukayo Saka. Again, we're very critical in modern football of wingers because of what Salah can do, because of other forwards that can score so many goals from the right, from the left. And Bukayo Saka gets these kind of numbers, by the way. But today he hasn't got those numbers. He hasn't scored a goal. But in the first half, his job was absolutely crucial because he was pushing the Atletico Madrid defence back. Brilliant play on the right-hand side. Beating a man, getting balls across the face of the box. Yes, Gyökeres didn't quite connect with any of them in the first half. But his role is to almost soften the Atletico Madrid back line, to soften them up, to make them run backwards, to push them back. Bukayo Saka's work doesn't just entail scoring goals or getting assists. Yes, he's trying to find a man when he's whipping things in. But actually, his play in the first half softens the back line, pushes them back, makes them vulnerable, makes them tired. So in the second half, the Arsenal side, if it's coming from Eze, if it's coming from Martinelli on the other side, which it did tonight, they can go and score these goals in the second half. I think Bukayo Saka's got this kind of, it's almost like a boxer with a jab. The jab kind of opens up a defence and you can go in there with a more powerful right hook. Bukayo Saka, if he's not scoring, has a massive contribution to Arsenal Football Club. He really, really does. And he's sort of jabbed Atletico Madrid all in the first half. Really, nothing to talk about in the first half, really. In the second half, it got so interesting because I think Arsenal got a little bit of a wake-up call. Yes, Julian Alvarez hit the bar. I thought Julian Alvarez was linking up play very, very well. Played a beautiful ball into Simeone on the right-hand side. But apart from that, it was very, very limited for Atletico Madrid. And out of nowhere, Gabriel pops up with a deep free kick from Declan Rice. The quality of the ball is absolutely sensational. And because Declan Rice, I think you could argue, firstly, he's a massive unit. He's got the physical stature of a centre-back. He could definitely play centre-back later on in his career. And the way he whips that ball, if he had more of an aesthetic quality, the way maybe David Beckham, even David Bentley used to whip the ball, I think we'd be talking about his actual output, Declan Rice, as being similar to David Beckham. The way you had that aesthetic quality is interesting in football. I have to say, when you take away the aesthetic quality of Declan Rice, we are approaching that level of Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, David Beckham, these kind of players that could whip a ball in with venom, with precision. This isn't just Declan Rice whipping things in clumsily or trying to just power things in. He's got an unbelievable technique, skill set, free kick kind of acumen that is of the highest order. Declan Rice, one of the best free kick takers in world football. Take away the goals that he scored against Real Madrid. It's scary. And he can put the ball onto a sixpence for any big defender in the world. And Thomas Tuchel has to take note for England as well. Gabriel. What do I say about Gabriel? It's the 9th set-piece goal that Arsenal have scored this season. It is a valid asset to have at your Arsenal, particularly when modern football is full of soft babies that want to roll around and dive at the earliest opportunity. And a few of them play for Atletico Madrid as well. Why not get it in the box? Why not throw it in? Why not get some power behind things? Eventually, maybe football moves away from it. But right now, Arsenal have to lean into what they're doing. And they're scoring goals from open play as well. But Gabriel, it was so inevitable. The ball is so close to Oblak, but he still can't get to it. There's a corridor of uncertainty. And it's down to the quality of Declan Rice and the beautiful running of Gabriel, who's a million miles onside as well. And from that point on, honestly, the way Atletico dropped back 5 yards, they were scared stiff. And Simeone looked scared. I've never really seen him like that on the touchline. Reserved, muted. And that's down again to the brilliance of Arsenal. The second goal is of the highest standard. And I'm sat here saying, Lewis Skelly can barely get a kick. Does he even make the England squad? Because he has to be playing 30 games this season, really, for Arsenal. Basically, I'd say he has to be starting 30 games and playing 35 in all competitions, maybe as a substitute. Calafiori's been absolutely superb in recent weeks. I think he gives you that defensive quality. And Skelly can come on in the second half and change things if Arteta needs it, which he hasn't always felt he's needed Skelly to do. Skelly hasn't even been coming off the bench in some games. But in this game today, I thought Skelly was so mobile, so powerful at running. When he's running on that kind of underlapping run, Atletico Madrid didn't know what to do with him. It was absolutely scintillating at points, and Skelly did more of that in the second half and one lung-busting run into the deep Atletico Madrid half. And he plays his ball, and Gabriel Martinelli bends around it. It's the sign of a guy who's in massive, massive confidence. Obviously, scored such a brilliant goal against Athletic Bilbao a few weeks ago. He's gone a little bit maybe quiet, the international break, etc. But Gabriel Martinelli has had a fundamental role in this Arsenal resurgence in recent weeks, down to his brilliant goals against Athletic, against Manchester City, etc. But it's a beautiful finish. It's Thierry Henry stuff. It's Nicolas Anelka level kind of instinctive finishing. It's down to Skelly. If you can beat 2 or 3 men in modern football, you are going to give your colleague a little bit of extra space because you've done the hard work in beating them. It was a beautiful finish. At that point, again, it could have been 4, 5, 6. And I felt that Trossard does a decent job for Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal are going to win major silverware with Trossard off the left, even right now. I know he does his job. He doesn't lose the ball too often. He comes up with important goals, of course, on the weekend. But for me, you always want to play the most dangerous players all the time. And for me right now, that is Martinelli. He's in great form. Eze can feed him. Skelly can feed him, etc. That's just my opinion. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Victor Gyökeres is really important for him today to get some goals. It's obviously gone, I think it's 9 games without a goal, including Sweden, who's now managed by Graham Potter, who speaks very, very good Swedish. Victor Gyökeres, 2 clunky goals, but a brace nonetheless. Really important for his confidence. Again, I've been saying in his videos, if I thought that his quality of output for Arsenal was poor, I would say it, because you can easily criticize a striker when he doesn't score in goals. It's very easy. I think Darwin Núñez, I was very critical of Darwin Núñez when he missed chances, not contribute to build-up play. Yes, he was dangerous with his pace, but he wasn't quite doing the work. Victor Gyökeres is a hard-working, humble striker, and he knows full well if he stays with the pack, if he stays in this starting 11, if he does the work, if he's humble, if he's appreciative of what Arsenal fans can do for you in terms of brilliant support home and away, playing for a big club, playing for the opportunity that he's been given, which is arguably a little bit above his station, arguably, because maybe Arsenal deserve someone even better than Victor Gyökeres. There's an argument for that in terms of an actual world-class striker. I don't think Gyökeres is, with all due respect. You look at PSG with Dembele, Real Madrid with Mbappe, etc., Harry Kane at Bayern Munich. But you have to say, his work rate, the way he was applauded by Arsenal fans when he went off, his physicality against, big centre-backs in, Lenormand, Jimenez, Llorente, running the channels down that side as well. You have to say, he is contributing a massive output physically for Arsenal. He's creating a lot of space for the on-running midfielders, the likes of Eze, Martinelli, Saka. I think he's got a very valuable role for this Arsenal side. And of course, scoring that brace. I mean, his first goal, very, very clunky. It's bounced off the defender's shin. But again, it's like Erling Haaland. It's very similar to Erling Haaland. If you get the goals, you get the goals. He scores a second goal, again from Gabriel, who must be the biggest attacking outlet for any defender I've seen in modern football. I mean, since when? I mean, John Terry used to bang goals. Scary. Long ball in. Gabriel feeds it into Gyökeres, who kind of thighs it into the net. And there's a moment where Eze feeds Gyökeres in. He's not able to quite connect with the ball first time. I think January, February, March, I think the start of next season, the start of the season after, we'll see Victor Gyökeres linking up far better than he is right now. He'll be a yard sharper. He's still very, very young. And I think that physicality, the stature, I think he'll be a little bit leaner. I think he'll connect with things a lot better than he is. But to get a brace in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid, it's not bad. It says he's got great striker instincts. He's holding the box. And it means that the quality around Victor Gyökeres is still absolutely second to none. It means it's giving him a lot of chances to score ugly goals. If you're scoring, it's different if you're scoring 40-yard screamers. It means you're making it out of nowhere and you're doing very, very well. You're a bit of a genius, a bit of a maverick. If you're scoring ugly goals against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, when they're fighting to win in front of their fans and try and do something for Simeone, I think Victor Gyökeres has got a lot to be happy about, to be scoring those kind of ugly, clumsy goals. It means that the press from Arsenal's working, their possession's working, the quality into the box is working. Doesn't matter quite if it's ugly. If it's in the box, it's in the box. And it's gone into the back of the net in a big, big way. I want to talk about Arsenal's wider squad because, again, I've talked about Saka, Martinelli. I thought Zubimendi was absolutely superb. There's a moment where he flicks it around the corner. I think that was actually into Victor Gyökeres as well. I thought Zubimendi was absolutely superb. Obviously, fully aware of Atletico Madrid and their quality. But him and Declan Rice, I think we can debate if it's Eze, Odegaard, Nwaneri, whoever. But Rice, Zubimendi, start them both together, and they are massive assets for each other. They really, really are. I like the substitutions. I mean, I'm so boring. It's like we're in 2025 and I'm talking about Arsenal substitutions. But you look at the quality from the bench that Arsenal have got. Mascara comes in. He looks hungry. He's desperate to play football. Hasn't been playing too much in recent weeks. So what can you do with Saliba and Gabriel? I thought Mascara comes on. Norgard comes on. Nwaneri comes on. It's like, this is scary times. Jurrien Timber, who's been the best right back in the Premier League this season, he comes on. Ben White, for me, is someone that should be going to the World Cup with England. He can barely get a kick. Do you know what I mean? I feel bad for the guy. And then you look at him against Arteta on the touchline, you think, this guy's physical stature, it is mental. This is one of the tallest sides in Europe. This is a side that is so physically powerful that they are going to go deep into this tournament. They're going to go deep into the season. And I think they're going to keep a lot of the ball and they're going to make you run for it. And then when you have the ball, they're going to be so tight on you. They're going to be so physically oppressive, pushing you back. They're going to be dominating sides with their physicality, just like the treble winners did with Manchester City a few years ago. 4 centre-backs, Rodri, Haaland, etc., etc. it is a crazy time if you're an Arsenal fan. And you look at the fixtures, Crystal Palace, Brighton, Sunderland, Burnley, Prague, Spurs. I think there's a couple of interesting moments in there. Firstly, I think they're going to win all of those Premier League games. Spurs as well. I think Spurs is the test. I'm not massively impressed with what Spurs have done in recent weeks. It's a North London derby. Anything can happen. For me, Arsenal have to win all of those games. No draws, maybe one. But I think Arsenal are more than good enough to win those games and put massive pressure on Liverpool. Trying to get 10, 11, 12 points clear of Liverpool, I think it's certainly possible. And Manchester City, if things were to falter for Manchester City in the Premier League title race, I think that's less likely. I think the City side are a lot closer to Arsenal than Liverpool are right now. But then it's Bayern Munich, Vincent Kompany, brand new contract, Michael Olise, etc. I fully back Arsenal to smash Bayern Munich. And that will tell you a lot about where this side are in terms of their mentality, in terms of their quality against top-level opposition. I've always put Atletico Madrid, except for the years where they had Costa, obviously a younger Griezmann, maybe certain Falcaos of the world. That era, early 2010s, maybe they were a cut above. Maybe they were in the Bayern conversation, the Barcelona conversation, like the other clubs are right now. But for me, Atletico Madrid are one cut below. But Bayern Munich, they're serious contenders to win the Champions League this season. You do feel that Arsenal, their squad, their confidence, their guile in these big games is a cut above Bayern Munich. And that's a massive ringing endorsement for what Mikel Arteta has done in recent seasons. I think he's brought them a lot closer to these sides. I think Arsenal can definitely win the Champions League this season. Have they got the mentality? These are big question marks. The physicality, the fitness, the sharpness to go and win these big football matches with physical presence is certainly there. Again, they smashed Atletico Madrid, one of the worst results they're ever going to have in Europe. And they didn't really break a sweat, did they? Let's be real. Watch the highlights. These Arsenal guys are kicking it about and they're 4-0 up. Like, it is scary. And Arsenal are able to turn a switch, find a second gear in a way that I don't think many sides can do right now. It's early in the campaign, but this Arsenal side are absolutely scintillating. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you leave your comments down below. I'll see you very, very soon.